Guys, this is Jonathan Lambert with the Mathematics Development and Support Service at the National College of Ireland. And this short video in our series of videos on Excel basics is going to deal with another one of the Boolean functions that's provided as a function within Excel. It's called the OR function. Okay, but before we deal with the OR function, okay, let's maybe talk about some of the logic associated with the OR function. Okay. Now the first thing about the OR is that's a Boolean function, which means that it can take in more than two. It's a binary function, which means it has to have two propositions or two conditions minimum associated with it. But it can take in more than two conditions and evaluate the Boolean OR. Okay, but for this video here, we're just going to concentrate on the application of an OR to when we have two conditions that we want to test whether one or the other is satisfied. Okay. Like in the video when we dealt with the AND condition one, we have to list down here, just so that we logically understand how the OR function works. I've just listed what's known as a truth table down here. All the possible, I suppose, let's say truth values associated with condition 1 and condition 2, pairwise. So for example, condition 1 could be false and condition 2 could be false simultaneously. We could have condition 1 false and condition 2 true simultaneously. And the other state is we could have condition 1 true and condition 2 false. Or we could have even possibly condition 1 true and also condition 2 true. Okay. Now the way the OR function works, now there's actually two types of OR functions. There's what's known as the inclusive OR and there's the exclusive OR. This OR application is what's known as the inclusive OR. Okay, and basically works like this, is that if I say something like, for example, I'm going to the shops or I'm going to the cinema, okay, for me not to have told a lie, I must have done both, at least one of those things, For example, let's say in this situation here, I didn't go to the shops, is false, okay, that's actually the case, I didn't go to the shops. I also didn't go to the cinema. Okay. So because I didn't do both of them, the OR will evaluate to false. Okay. Here I did go to the shops. I didn't go to the shops, but I did go to the cinema. Well, I did one of them, so the OR evaluates to true. But the most important thing is this, is that an application of the OR function only ever evaluates to false when all of the inputs are simultaneously false. In all other situations, okay, the function actually evaluates to true. Okay, you can see false true gives me true, true false gives me true, true true gives me true. Okay, so in all other situations it evaluates to true. The only time it evaluates to false is when both of the conditions are not satisfied. Okay, so that's the logic behind the OR function. Let's have a look at a little example. And what I have here is I have a number of student records. These are fictitious. Okay, we have the student number, we have the student name, we have their age, and we have how many times, the number of visits. Let's say how many times they visited the National College of Ireland's Mathematics Development and Support Service. Okay, and what I'd like to figure out is I'd like to calculate, or I'd like to figure out of this list of students, what students have an age less than 30 or an age greater than 35? Okay? Now, this is like a bouncer on the front of a nightclub. You're only going to be allowed in if your age is less than 30 or your age is greater than 35. So people in between aren't being let in, if that makes sense. Okay. So to evaluate the OR function in this case here, well, once again, to go into function mode, we hit equals, followed by the name of the function, which is OR, okay, followed by an open round bracket, and then we specify the first logical condition. Well, the first logical condition is that the age has to be less than 30. So where's age? Age is listed down in the D column here. So I'm going to click on the first age, and I'm going to specify that age must be less than 30. I hit a comma, which brings me on to the second logical expression, okay, which is that age has to be greater than 35. So let me specify age here must be greater than 35. So the only people being allowed into this nightclub are those people that have an age less than 30 or they have an age greater than 35. And when we hit return here, you can see this is giving us false, okay? Because the age here isn't less than 30 or it's not greater than 35, okay? It's in between, okay? Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to apply this function all the way down this column to identify what students, out of this list of students, have an age less than 30 or their age is greater than 35. So I'm just going to take it and drag it down, and you can actually see that we have a mixture of students. For example, Christine Ward has an age of 34. Well, that's not less than 30. Okay, so that's false, condition 1. It's either here or here. And is condition 2 satisfied? Is age greater than 35? No, it's not. So condition 2 is not satisfied. That's false. So actually where we are is here. It's a false, which should evaluate to false, which for Christian Ward, it does evaluate to false. Let's see who's a true. So here you go. We have Shane Pollard. Okay? His age is 26. Well, condition 1 says age must be less than 30. So his age is 26, so condition 1 is true. So it's possibly here or here. And what about condition 2? Condition 2 says age is greater than 35. For Shane Pollard, his age is 26. The age isn't greater than 35, so it's false. So here's where we are here. He's true on the first condition, he's false on the second condition, but the order is evaluating to true as specified. Where am I gone? That's Shane Pollard, which is along here. You can see that the order is evaluating to true. Okay, let's do one more example. This time where we have two variables. The last application of the OR was where we were looking at two conditions specified on a single variable, age. Now let's actually apply it across two variables, age and number of visits. Okay. So what I'm interested in is what students in this list have an age less than 30 or the number of visits has been less than 15. Okay, so let's do that. So once again, to go into function mode, I hit equals, followed by the name of the function, which is an OR, followed by an open round brace. We specified the first condition, which is age must be less than 30. So where's age? Age on this row is here. And it must be less than 30, so we hit the less than sign followed by 30. That's my first condition specified, followed by a comma, which leads us on to the second condition. And for the second condition, the number of visits needs to be less than 15. Well, the number of visits for Jennifer Conroy are listed here. So let's click on that. And they need to be less than 15, so let's specify less than 15. And that's the condition satisfied. That's the conditions now input there for this OR application or this OR evaluation for Jennifer Conroy. So let's hit return and we get true. Because Jennifer Conroy's age is less than, well, actually, Jennifer Conroy's age is not less than 30. That's false, okay? You can see condition 1 is false, so we're here or here. But condition 2, which is visits less than 15, is true. So actually where we are here is a false true, which gives us a true value out the other side. So actually either one or at least one of the conditions is satisfied for Jennifer Conroy. Actually, let's just take this function and apply it all the way down to all the students. And actually what we can actually see is there's only one student in this particular list, Mark Thomas, that doesn't satisfy both conditions. He's not less than 30 and neither is his number of visits less than 15. Okay guys, the OR function and the AND functions are very important functions in Excel. They're very handy for when you want to actually select out cases that meet specific conditions, especially when you have more than one condition. Okay, so hopefully that helped you to help identify specific cases. We'll have a look at the if function after this, which actually takes in a single condition. Yeah, okay. These ORs and ANDs take in more than one condition and evaluate. So once again guys, this was Jonathan Lambert with the Mathematics Development and Support Service at the National College of Ireland, and I hope this video was somewhat helpful and intuitive.